Arcade Perfect by Arse. Okay guys, welcome to another Arcade Perfect My Arse. This video I'm taking a look at Street Fighter, the original brawler by Capcom, released in 1987. Now, I did play this game. In fact, you know what, I didn't play it, but I remember seeing this game in Ellie's arcade in Edinburgh. Yeah, probably 1987. It had the big pads which you actually punched. Now, the only version of this game I've really played to any degree was the Commodore Amiga, which we shall take a look at later on. Suffice to say, I wasn't a big fan of it. And I've got to say, this is the first time I've ever played the arcade one. I mean, obviously I'm playing this in MAME, and I'm using a gamepad rather than the big pads. But I've got to say, it's actually not bad. It's not a bad game at all. I mean, because the Amiga one is so awful, I've always thought of this game as being absolute crap. And playing this now, I realise it's actually okay. I mean, it's not a Street Fighter 2 game. You know, they really ramped it up for the second version, but the graphics are pretty good. Far less moves, obviously, but you know, the graphics, sound, parallax scrolling with the clouds and that kind of stuff, it's actually pretty good. So, you know, it's kind of refreshed what I think about this game. You know, I always thought it was awful, but you know, the arcade one's actually not bad at all. But there's obviously far less moves than the second one. I mean, the second one, it created a genre. Never did French at school. Yeah, it created a new game type. I mean, you know, the number of beat 'em ups that we've had since Street Fighter 2 came out is just incredible. Funny thing is, I'm not a big fan of beat 'em ups. I would love to love them. I'd love to be able to play them, but I just simply can't. I don't have the patience or skill or tolerance to actually to play it for any length of time and learn the moves. So generally, when I play these games, I just mash the buttons and hope for the best. I've obviously taken Ryu. He's obviously discovered Just for Men, and he's decided that to lose the ginger hair and go for black hair, and he's bulked up a wee bit since this game as well. And it's game over. So that's the arcade one. Let's take a look at a home version. Right, this this is Atari ST one. Now, visually, I've got to say this isn't half bad. I mean, you've got the scrolling clouds, the actual graphics, even for the sprites, are actually pretty good. I'm not overly keen on the music, but that's probably more down to the sound chip in Atari ST, which I never thought was particularly good. It always felt like a step backwards, you know, from the Commodore 64. But one thing you'll notice right away is the animation is not the greatest. You know, there's not that many frames of animation. It all feels very clunky. But I did make a video of the Commodore Amiga one fairly recently, basically panning it, and I've got to say, this one doesn't feel as bad as the Amiga one, which is quite surprising, because usually the Amiga would, you know, the early Amiga games were just basically conversions of the Atari ST, but I would say this one feels better than the Amiga one. But we'll come to the Amiga one shortly anyway, and see see just how good it is. Geki! Ryu versus Geki. The scrolling in this one's not the greatest, but then the Atari ST was never really well known for good scrolling. But I mean, the range of characters that you've got in this game is not actually too bad. I mean, I don't recall any adversary in Street Fighter 2 kind of disappearing like the ninja does in this one. Now, I don't know if there's an option to turn music off. I dare say there was, so you could get the sound effects rather than the music. Oh, excuse me. But this isn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. But yeah, it is very sluggish. You know, it's no SNES Street Fighter 2 at all. But I think it could have been a lot worse. What's strength? But don't. Is that why is there a big space between DON and the T? Forget there are many guys like you all over the world. Yeah, that's Atari ST. Right now, interestingly, there are actually two versions of this. This is on the C64. This one is by T-Rex, not the dinosaur. T-Rex as in T-I-E-R-E-X. Tyrex, is it, not T-Rex? Now, if you've ever heard about the C64 having blocky graphics, then blimey, if this doesn't show the blockiness off to a fine degree, then yeah, I would like to see a game that looked more blocky than this one. Player one, why couldn't you make the full player? Why the laziness? Why didn't you put an E and E in it? Yeah, these are expanded sprites. Now, the old leg sweep seemed to win there. Yeah, the graphics are very messy. If you built a Street Fighter game with Lego bricks, I think this would be pretty much how it would look. It's just mega blocky. I mean, it sounds alright, but it's just uber blocky. Ryu versus Geki. I mean, the speed of the background graphics are bang on. The speed of the game is really good. I mean, it's I would say it's a way better than the Atari ST. The scrolling, I think, looks pretty smooth. I would say it's just very easy. I mean, there you go. I've never played this game before, and that's me just beating the second opponent. So yeah, they've made it simply too easy. It doesn't look particularly great. You know, it's very colourful, but I says they've just gone overboard with the expanded sprites. You know, some of the games, was it Target Renegade, they were able to come up with sort of like higher resolution, which would have made it look a lot better. But playability wise, this is pretty good, although it's just far too easy. So this was the one that was released in the UK. This is by Tyrex, I'm going to call them rather than T-Rex. But there was another version which we shall take a look at again on the C64. Right, now this one was released by a company called Pacific Dataworks International. Now I don't think this one ever saw the light of day in the UK. This one looks beautiful. I mean, seriously, the graphics for this are really nice. And it actually plays pretty well. Yeah, this kind of reminds me. This reminds me more of Year Kung Fu, I think, than a Street Fighter 2 game. But yeah, I'm really impressed with this version. Doesn't appear to be too many moves. I mean, I don't know if I'm trying obviously to pull off different moves here, but graphics. This is excellent. This is really nice. They've it's what I was saying earlier on. I mean, the last version was massive expanded sprites, but with this one they've taken up probably about a third of the screen with the score and that kind of stuff, and the energy bar, and left the play area quite a bit smaller. But the background graphics are really well drawn, as are the sprites themselves. So really impressed with this one. Even the actual animation's pretty nice as well. Yep, that is excellent. Right, this is the Amstrad CPC 4641. And it looks like somebody has gone daft in an orange and blue paint factory, throwing orange paint all over the place. Considering the palette, the really good palette that the Amstrad has, I don't know why they've gone for such kind of garish looking colours. Now sound seems to be, oh, was that a noise, was it? Oh, there's some real muffled little punching sounds. I mean, graphic, let's move out, forgetting the colour for a second. The actual graphics are pretty good. I mean, they're big sprites. Movement's not too bad either. I think if even if they'd gone for black and white, or toned down the colours a wee bit, this would have been a nice version. As it is, it plays pretty well. The scrolling's not great, but that's more a hardware limitation rather than a bad conversion. Sound could definitely have improved. There's very little sound to speak of at all. But the actual sprites themselves are quite impressive. I don't know if there's any sound in this version. I mean, I certainly didn't turn the sound off. Or not the sound, I didn't turn the music off, I should say. But yeah, I suppose the 8-bit machines, they didn't have the ability to play sampled sounds. Well, they did eventually. Some games did kind of figure it out, but so there was always a lacky sound in these kind of games. But a few wee spot effects wouldn't have gone amiss. We've got sound there when it's giving you your bonus and that kind of stuff, but but yeah, in the main, this isn't actually that bad. This is deciding about one game all, or one bout all, I should say. Now, at least this one offers a bit of a challenge. I mean, that first C64 one was an absolute joke. We could just hammer the fire button and away you went and won without any effort at all. Oof. I thought I was going to win that one. Yeah, that's the Amstrad one. That's not actually that bad. Apart from the real garish orange colour and the lacky sound, that's not bad at all. Right, I've been dreading this one. This is the Commodore Amiga one. Now, I did put up a video about a month ago, I think, touting this as possibly one of the worst games ever. I'll actually put a link up above. Now, statically, the graphics look alright, but you'll notice the Atari ST has got it's got moving clouds. This one doesn't. Why is that? The Atari ST is less powerful than the Amiga, so that's right away you notice that. But this one here is there's a delay in pressing the fire button. The scrolling is just absolutely horrendous. I mean, look at the number of frame rates when you jump through the air. There's probably about 4 or 5 frame rates of animations of frames of animation. I should say, can't get my words out there. Yeah, this is an atrocious game. This should have easily been the best version by far. This could have done an arcade perfect version. And sadly, the company that did this, you know, it's awful. Was this game never actually play tested? Was it never actually looked at? I mean, you'd think that when they were looking at reviewing the games before they put them out for release, they would compare versions and they would look at the Atari ST one, then they'd look at this and say, wait a minute, how come this is pathetic? The Atari ST one's not that bad. You know, obviously quality control wasn't quite so important for some companies back in the day. It was a question of rushing a game to get out for Christmas or whatever, just to try and make some money. But this is woeful. And as I mentioned in my video above, I did actually famously, I didn't famously, but my popular anecdote with this game was my mate bought it, me and my mate bought it, and I had first go and I completed it my very first go, which my friend was none too happy about. But as I say, the graphics, you know, they've been drawn quite nicely, but the movement, the delay, and you know, the actual delay response kind of thing, delay is pathetic. The scrolling is absolutely woeful. And you know, it wasn't like this game was cheap. I mean, it was probably about 30 quid back in 1987, so that was a lot of money. And you're paying for an absolutely abysmal game like this. I mean, granted it was one of the early Amiga games, but there's still no excuse for that, because there's still some Stonewall classics that came out before this game that had great scrolling and that kind of stuff, so it was just sheer laziness on the programmer's behalf. So that is the woeful Commodore Amiga one. Now this is Fighting Street. This is on the PC Engine. It's basically Street Fighter, but they just, I don't know why they had to change the name. This is on CD-ROM for the PC Engine, and you can see it looks pretty much arcade perfect. Yeah, I mean it's fast, it's responsible. Animation's not that bad at all. Sounds excellent. I mean, this is a game that the Commodore Amiga should have been. There's absolutely no reason why it could have had a version like this. I have no idea what he said there. It does sound like the guy's gurgling, he's trying to drink a glass of water whilst trying to talk. It's probably a wee bit on the easy side. I mean, I'm just mashing the buttons here. But yeah, it's watch strength, but don't forget, at least I've got the apostrophe right in this one. There are many guys like you all over the world. All over the world. I don't know what accent that was. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, Mike, who is that based on, I wonder? Now, in the, is it Gato, I think it is the ninja? in other versions, but oddly they've gone for a Mike Kenny Tyson, so they've changed it a wee bit. This, I would say, this is more like a remix of Street Fighter. Right, so anyway, that is the PC Engine version. Right, moving on to the last one, guys. This is the Spectrum one. Now, as expected, it would be, we thought it would be monochrome, and it is. Most of the Spectrum sort of arcade conversions were monochrome. It just allowed it to look nice, you know, quite high kind of resolution graphics. But the static backgrounds look nice and detailed. I've got to see the actual movement isn't half bad. It's nice and quick. Yeah, again, as I was saying earlier on, it kind of feels a bit like ER Kung Fu. Really responsive. And the graphics look great as well, albeit they are black and white, but this is really nice. So to recap, guys, the Commodore Amiga one, absolutely awful conversion. Crap movement, slow and sluggish. Sound was awful. Terrible version. That's easily the worst one out of the lot. The Amstrad one was just a bit too orange. Nice graphics, played fairly well. The Atari ST one was pretty good, much better than the Commodore Amiga one. The two versions for the C64, the first one, which was released by Tyrex in the UK, mega blocky. I actually played not bad, but it was just far too easy. The second version by Pacific Data Works International, really impressed with that. Really nice graphics. It's probably one of the prettiest looking versions actually. It kind of tried to do its own have its own unique kind of look, but super impressed with that one. Fighting Street, which was the sort of PC Engine's remixed version, really nice looking. Played well. I mean, it was on CD, so you would expect it to be, you know, up there. And then lastly, this version, the Spectrum one, really impressed with this. It plays nicely. Really excellent version. So to try and put them into bronze, silver, and gold position, let me think. In third place, I'm going to go for the C64 one by Pacific Data Works International. Really nice version, much better than another one. Second place, I'm going to go for the Spectrum one. I just think it's really good, a very competent conversion. And probably the winner, I think, it would have to be Fighting Street on the PC Engine. It is virtually, you know, Street Fighter, albeit they've tweaked it slightly. That would definitely have to be the best version. It is available, I think, on some of these conversions for like the consoles and that kind of stuff. But yep, as usual, guys, hope you enjoyed watching it. And finally, thank you very much for watching.